Hello, everyone. A very logical day to all of you. And here, this is the discussion of the editorial of Telegraph of Mice and Men, editorial on the rise in Calcutta's rodent population. ठीक है, rodents, mice जैसे जितने भी जानवर होते हैं ना उनको rodents बोलते हैं. So, like an army of ravenous, I hope you are able to see this. Ravenous locusts. Ravenous is बहुत ज्यादा खाने वाले. लोकस्ट होती है वो, उसको हिंदी में क्या बोलते हैं? उसको टिड्डी बोलते हैं. मतलब जो उससे प्लांट्स पे आ जाती हैं, दे ईट अवे द प्लांट्स. Calculus rats with the brown rat, the greater bandicoot, and the common house mice apparently leading the charge are nibbling away at the city's foundations. Nibbling away जैसे एक squirrel होती है या rat होता है, तो ऐसे कुतर कुतर के खाना is nibble. राइट. रैट से याद आया कि एक पाइट पाइपर ऑफ हैमलिन एक पोयम है. सो इफ यू कैन रीड दैट पोयम, यू विल फाइंड सो मेनी रैट्स देयर एंड ऑल कलरफुल रैट्स देयर. राइट, ये वाला मत करना. इट इज लाइक हियर. So Calcuttans had once been assured that the city would be transformed into London. The good news is that the metamorphosis has taken place, but there is bad news as well. Metamorphosis is like changing, the transition. The transformation could have been avoided. For what binds Calcutta to London are rats, right? So लंदन में बहुत सारे रैट्स हैं. कैलकटा को लंदन बनाना था तो कैलकटा में भी रैट्स आ गए. ये सिमिलैरिटी बन गई दोनों की. तो अकॉर्डिंग टू द ऑथर ये नहीं होना चाहिए था. It has been estimated that both cities, along with other metropolises like New York and Mumbai, are infested with rodents whose numbers have grown exponentially. Exponential growth is something that you have read many times, I suppose. Yes. Exponential मतलब बहुत ज्यादा. By leaps and bounds कुछ बढ़ जाना, right? वो exponential होगा. The bad news, in fact, gets worse. Like an army of ravenous locusts, Calcutta's rats with the brown rat, the greater bandicoot, and the common house mice, apparently leading the charge, are quite literally nibbling away at the city's foundations. हम किसी के लिए भी हम वर्ड यूज कर सकते हैं that he is nibbling away, that means he is eating away my head. ये भी हो सकता है, लेकिन यहाँ पे तो उसने ऑथर ने कहा लिटरली, वाकई में वो उसके जो सिटी के फाउंडेशंस हैं उसको कुतर रहे हैं. दे आर निबलिंग. हाउ? Bridges, roads, and pavements are in peril. The walls of old houses are caving in. Even cables are being shredded to bits. Shredded यानी shredder होता है, जैसे एक पेपर श्रेडर होता है, पेपर को काट काट के खत्म कर देना, वो पेपर श्रेडर होते हैं. Right? Accompanying the pest is the threat of pestilence. What the burgeoning brood of vermin also conveys is a severe imbalance in the metropolitan ecology. Right? This part, the burgeoning brood of vermin is conveying is like what can be understood. इसमें तो ये convey किया उसने, और ये मतलब हमने infer कर लिया उसमें से. क्या? Imbalance in the metropolitan ecology. Environmentalists believe that the rise in Calcutta's rodent population is suggestive of the decline of its natural predator base, that is, owls, kites, and jackals, on account of disastrous unplanned urbanization. ठीक है, ये वाला पॉइंट ध्यान से समझो. ठीक है, यहाँ पर ऑथर ने कहा कि ये जो माइस की ग्रोथ होती जा रही है, नंबर्स, व्हाट इज इट इंडिकेटिंग? राइट, it is a pestilence, the threat of pestilence. It also conveys means it is indicating something, right? Or hinting something. What is it hinting? That there is an imbalance in the metropolitan ecology. इसका मतलब बड़ी cities में अगर ये राइस नहीं, माइस की ग्रोथ इतनी ज्यादा हो रही है, तो इससे हम और क्या इन्फर कर सकते हैं कि जो उसके प्रीडेटर्स हैं, ठीक है, जो माइस खाने वाले जानवर हैं, बिकॉज देयर इज अ कंप्लीट फूड साइकिल इन द इकोलॉजी आल्सो, राइट? सो जो माइस को खाने वाले हैं वो भी गायब हो गए होंगे ना, तभी तो माइस की ग्रोथ, पॉपुलेशन ग्रोथ इतनी बढ़ती जा रही है, right? So read this sentence again. Environmentalists believe that the rise in Calcutta's rodent population is suggestive of the decline of its natural predators. right? So now when there's a question based on what can be inferred from the passage, so we also can mark that as the answer, that option as the answer, that there's an imbalance in the ecology in the metropolitan cities, one thing. Second, also we can say that the food cycle is being affected, right? Second, there's a reduction in the predators of mice. तो ये भी हो सकता है, चाहे वो कंक्लूजन हो या इंफ्रेंस वाले क्वेश्चंस हो, पर यहां से हमारे पास वो बन जाएगा. On account of disasters, unplanned urbanization. Now, what can be inferred or concluded again? That urbanization is giving rise to the change in ecology or the imbalance in the ecology. So, unplanned urbanization giving rise to the imbalance in ecology of the city can be a conclusion here. तो यहाँ से तुम्हारे पास चाहे कुछ भी आ जाए, assumption हो या conclusion हो या inference वाले question हो, तो you'll get it from here. Now, of course, rats and civilizations go back a long way. Fossils of house mice have been unearthed in China that go back to the Paleolithic age. Unsurprisingly, rats have left their tiny paw prints on the mind. Interestingly, human culture's rats have report card is not only diverse, but the assessment is also mixed. For instance, rodents are reviled for being symbolic avatars of cunning, avarice, ambition and self-centeredness. ठीक है, ये तो ये टेलीग्राफ लिखते हैं क्या, रिवाइल्ड यानी हेटेड फॉर. Why are the rats hated for? Why? Because they are symbolic of cunning, तेज दिमाग होता है, चालाक होते हैं, अवेयरनेस इज ग्रीड, बहुत सारी चीजें चाहिए, एम्बिशन एंड सेल्फ सेंटर्डनेस, ये उनका सिंबॉलिक है. हमारे लिए रैट्स का सिंबल हो जाता है गणपति, दैट इज मूषक, राइट. द नेगेटिविटी इट सीम्स हैज रब्ड ऑफ ऑन लैंग्वेज टू. द डबल क्रॉसर, who else, is thus described as a rat. But it is not all poor marks for the rodent. The Chinese have a year marked in honor of the rat. One of Hinduism's favorite gods has the mouse as its vahan. This is what I said. ठीक है, वाहन यानी वो जिस पे सवार होते हैं. Some ancient African tribes venerate rats as agents of the afterlife. Even Hollywood has doffed its hat by creating the enduring Remy of Ratatouille fame, the rat with the dreams of becoming a chef. These associations, traditional and modern, religious or cultural, it can be argued, are expressions of humanity's fascination. Fascination is like being attracted, उससे बिल्कुल mesmerize हो जाना, with several positive attributes of the species. Rats, science has proved, are a highly social animal. पूरे झुंड में रहते हैं, एक होगा तो उसके पीछे और भी आ जाएंगे. Capable of demonstrating industriousness. Industriousness means hard work, diligence, discipline, and collectivity. Little wonder then that both humans and rats survived ecological catastrophes like the ice age. रैट्स भी बरो बना के नीचे छिप जाते हैं, बिल्कुल उनका बिल होता है. जैसे रैबिट्स कैसे रहते हैं वैसे रैट रहती है, जैसे स्क्विरल्स रहती है वैसे रैट्स रह सकते हैं under the ground. Now, but this bittersweet bonding between the Calcuttan and the rat is likely to be tested more severely with the intensification of another catastrophe, the Anthropocene. Right? I've taken this word in many classes. Anthropocene. Anthrop is related to human beings, और Anthropocene एक era होता है जो कि human beings पर based है. So climatic changes are expected to inflict various kinds of Armageddons on urban populations. These include disease outbreaks, food shortages, infrastructure meltdowns. इसका मतलब Armageddons क्या हो जाएंगे, वो problems जो इस पे civilization पे भारी पड़ जाती हैं. It is possible that rats could, rightly or wrongly, be identified as the messengers of doom. A bloodier conflict endeavors to purge rats, being met by the rise of rodent-borne pestilences, could well be in the offing. But this war can be avoided if cities and city fathers realize that human congregations are assembly, जब बहुत ज्यादा लोग रहते हैं, given their propensity towards low hygiene. Congregation where there are many people together, but then they do not focus on the hygiene. The wastefulness and littering are responsible for the rat sinking the proverbial ship. Rat sinking the proverbial ship. It is the rats who sink the ship. एक idiom है वहां पे और और क्या होता है हाँ this last two sentences can be understood in such a manner that it is because of the human beings, Anthropocene, because of the activities of the human beings that the rats are growing exponentially in the numbers. राइट और ये उनका काम है क्योंकि जहां पे गंदगी होगी जहां पे कचरा होगा वहां पे रैट्स आ जाएंगे राइट सो that's all for today. And next day, next session, I'll come up with a new article from a different newspaper. So that's it. And stay logical and thank you.